Ladies and gentlemen, the following bout is a rematch. However, this time there is gold on the line in the form of the WMO South African Super Lightweight Championship. Introducing to you first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner with the blue trunks, weighing in at a clean and ready 62 kilograms even, and standing 1.71 meters tall. With a record of 2 wins and a single loss, and fighting out of Iron Tiger in Cape Town, he returns to TFP for his 3rd appearance with revenge on his mind. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Bezeidenhout. This is a vacant title, and here is the second of our 2 challengers. Fighting out of the red corner with the red trunks, weighing in at 62.15 kilograms and standing 1.78 meters tall. A perfect record, 3 wins and no losses. He fights out of Domination Gym by way of Ulundi, KwaZulu-Natal, making his 3rd appearance at Thaiholics Fight Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sibonelo Ntombela.
Welcome aboard. Activate.
Subdued music played to the entrance of Sibonelo and Ntombela. I've been looking forward to this bout. Now that there is a belt on the line, there's that much added pressure on both of these 2 fighters. Sibonelo and Ntombela, he's come here to defend his perfect record. He's 3-0. Of course, he was the victor the first time that these 2 fighters met. Michael Bezeidenhout, however, that particular fight, what stands out in my mind, marked a real step up in his ability, and it was noticeable that night. So let's see, are we going to have a Michael Bezeidenhout who steps up once again and is finally able to take the O away from Sibonelo and Ntombela?
For sure, I remember how impressed we were with Michael in that fight. I think, wrongly so obviously, but we thought that maybe Sabu was going to have an upper hand on the power and the size advantage and maybe just walk over Michael, but Michael really stepped up there, showed us he was game, wasn't afraid. He actually dropped a weight class to come down to 63. His first fight that he had at TFP was with Shane Deacon. I think that was at 69 kgs. So also, you know, working on the conditioning at Iron Tiger, basically came out a completely different fighter. We were having a laugh last night between these 2 guys. This is only the 4th TFP, but between them we've had 7 appearances. Michael appearing in his 4th TFP and Sabu in his 3rd. So these guys it's sort of like hometown advantage for them fighting here in the TFP ring. I made a joke with Michael. I said to him, if he gets to his 10th fight in a row, we'll give him a scratch card, and every time he just gets a free scratch and he works his way to a free belt.
Well, here we are. The 2 of these fighters going to be staring across from each other. You know, it's actually quite strange that you say Michael Bezeidenhout came down a division. Look at the size difference between these 2 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Both Ntombela brothers are absolutely jacked. The two of them, I don't think that they've ever put on an ounce of spare fat or weight by looking at a loaf of bread, unlike myself. And of course, unlike yourself, you know, we get older and these things become harder. But these two young kids, they're here to prove their medal at TFP 4 full swing.
Yeah, both super tough brothers fighting out of Domination Gym in KwaZulu-Natal. Great to see Sabu back again. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Michael's got up his sleeve.
Software developer by trade, can he develop a method to beat and get the revenge that he needs over Ntombela? Michael Bezeidenhout, Sibonelo Ntombela, they are called to the middle of the ring, and away we go. 3 by 3 minute rounds, of course, at play here.
Yeah, and as you said, that size difference, you know, it's so definitely noticeable as they square up there. I remember last time what worked really well for Michael was he sort of lasted that first round. You know, Sabu's a powerful guy, but you know, if you can show you can weather that initial storm, there's a lot of work Michael actually putting the pressure on here. Super interesting to see him coming forward, throwing those punches, working the head, working the body. Maybe that's something they spoke about at the gym. Worked on the fact that, you know, Sabu's a tall guy, but there's that entire long body for you to strike.
Yeah, I think maybe a case of Ntombela remembering that first encounter, going, I can't blow the wad in the first round. I've got to respect this guy.
Yeah, and that's also something that they'll learn as they go through these fights, you know? As they go through their amateur career, now making their pro-am debuts here or getting a chance to fight for the title at least.
Interestingly, the jitters seem to be on Ntombela's side. He's visited the canvas twice already. Of course, not fucking point scoring, but he's been put down.
Yeah, and I think that's also him working off that front foot. He's throwing a lot of those teeps to the face, and Michael sort of working forward, and that's putting him on the back foot and actually losing his balance.
Bezeidenhout looking very calm, very composed.
And, you know, having the upper hand in the strikes so far. We've heard these cracks from ringside, yeah, and definitely Michael getting good shots in, landing multiple combinations. Sabu looking a little bit out of sorts. Maybe it's because he's you know, containing himself, not wanting to blow himself out like he did in the last fight.
Ntombela's coach, crew, Clint Walters from Domination Gym. He fights out of Ulundi in KZN. Here, Shaheen Price is the hometown coach for Michael Bezeidenhout. Iron Tiger, located on Bree Street in Cape Town.
Michael taking a big shot to the leg there. You see how it buckled in. That's something that maybe Ntombela should be working on, especially with the range. Hit that leg, keep yourself on the outside. No need to force it here. This one, we're having 3 rounds, but they're 3 minutes apiece, so a little bit longer. The guys have to work a little bit here.
Good catch of the kick by Michael Bezeidenhout. Again, the catch of the kick and the strike to the leg. And Ntombela just stays up.
Another catch.
So
good work from him, yeah. He's definitely recognizing that, you know, there's a lot of opportunity with catches, and he's not afraid. He's coming forward, you know. He's putting in the big strikes. I love seeing that. A smaller guy doing what he needs to do to get that win here.
Is this the product of the joys of training with Nido Gomba?
Almost certainly. And I mean, these guys are, wobbled him there with the big elbow, slipped himself there. I think Ntombela actually got a little bit of a wobbly leg on that one from the big elbow under the pad.
That certainly landed. I can't wait to see the highlights package of this round. This is a different Michael Bezeidenhout once again.
Completely. It's great. It's great to see like that instant development, you know, from fight to fight. We're seeing him progress. We had a great undercard with all the amateur fighters, and I mean, seeing the guys starting at that point, I'd just love to see what they're going to be doing coming out. Michael raises his hand to the applause from the crowd. A great run from both guys, working really hard, but I think Michael edged it out there.
And Ntombela's got work to do, man. This is not the same fight that he had those months ago, and this is not so long ago that we're actually going to be honest with ourselves. So here we go. Michael Bezeidenhout, the more comfortable fighter, and standing up.
Yeah, electing not to take the seat. I guess that's a preference for every fighter. You can see he's working in there. When Sabu counters, he's got his hands up, so those strikes aren't landing, but he's going in. Sabu's hands are low. He's finding the target. He's hitting the leg. He's catching the kicks. He's doing everything that he needs to do, and I'd say he had a near-perfect round there. I don't think he took too much damage. See, he's got a little bit of a welt in his face. That might have been from a big punch, but otherwise, yeah, I think he did probably about a good 70 to 80% of the work was there from Michael.
I really just hope that we're going to get a capture of that elbow that came into the top of Ntombela's head, courtesy of Michael Bezeidenhout. It definitely wobbled the legs of Ntombela. There it is.
As he was coming forward, also maybe dipping his head around, so he was maybe, you know, trying to avoid the punches that were coming. Michael stepping forward, throwing that elbow over the top. catching him unawares while he was in a bob and weave situation.
It just shows you it's not just all about throwing those punches. If you stick an elbow in between, it breaks the rhythm of what you've been throwing, and more importantly, breaks the rhythm of what is being read by Ntombela. He's expecting shots to come by the fist.
He's coming forward. He's actually creating momentum for Michael with which he can put his elbow against. So he's actually doing himself a disservice by chasing. He doesn't have to. He's actually the taller fighter. But I think because Michael's putting the pressure on, you tend to answer it with pressure from yourself.
I have a feeling that this round is where the fight is going to be won and lost. Here comes the more aggressive Sibonelo and Ntombela.
Yeah, he needs to make sure that when he's doing that, he needs to catch Michael. Michael's got a lot of good footwork. We're seeing a bit of switches. He's moving in and out. He steps forward on his kicks, and then, big punch there as well.
Beautiful left hook up to the top of the head by Michael Bezeidenhout.
He's doing well to take that and still stay composed. You know, we're not seeing him rush. But he shouldn't be chasing. He should be waiting for Michael to come in, set up those shots, and then land. And maybe check those kicks instead of moving away, because you're bringing yourself out of striking distance and then throwing those wild shots like that.
Certainly, he looks like he's throwing the shots at the wrong distance, the wrong marker, and he's missing.
But Michael's doing really well. He's, you see the lots of switches, stepping in, feinting in, which is drawing the strikes from Sabu, and then making him miss. And that's frustrating, and that's why we're getting these wild shots. But maybe Sabu looking for a big shot. I know Michael ate one earlier, and he took it really well, so it'll be interesting to see what Sabu does now.
But he's got to watch, because Michael Bezeidenhout is dialed in catching those kicks from Sibo and Ntombela, as Sibo lands a very stiff jab. And again, stiff jab, right hand.
Yeah. He's also opening up a little bit, maybe finding the target a little bit better in the latter half of this round. Again, Michael just needs to stay composed, keep those hands up like he did in the first round, and counter.
This has become a closer fight now, thanks to the second round effort by Sibo and Ntombela.
Yeah, definitely he's putting the pressure on this time. I think the first round he was actually stepping back a bit. Maybe his coach told him, you know, you need to go and put that pressure on. Michael taking a shot to the groin there.
These guys fighting with 8-ounce gloves, so a little bit smaller, hurts a little bit harder. As Michael Bezeidenhout tries to regain his composure after that shot south of the border, thanks to Sibonelo and Ntombela.
Seems to be struggling, yeah.
Ntombela's getting a good rest out of this, whereas Michael Bezeidenhout, lungs are crouched over.
Okay, standing up. Referee should maybe give him a little bit more time. Didn't look too comfortable there, but we get back to the action. A minute left in this round. Michael needs to make sure that he avoids those big shots, because I think that's what was maybe going to be Sabu's. A great deep push kick there as Sibonelo was coming in. Michael throwing with reckless abandon at the moment, but working well to move around and stay out of range.
It's almost revenge for that nut shot.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Caught and swept.
He did a good job to avoid the initial sweep, but because his leg was up in the air, he's already off balance and just threw him down to the ground.
Bezeidenhout's got to be careful. It almost looks as though he's trying to still get the revenge, but he doesn't need to. I think he's exacted it. He's got to go back to the composure that we saw in the first round.
Spinning back fist there from Sabu. Michael, his awareness of what Sabu's throwing is really good. The only time it's really getting caught is when it's coming in. No, that's just a trip, nothing.
Good stiff right hand from Ntombela. Wow, hard round to score.
Yeah, I think Michael did really well to avoid most of the big shots Sabu was throwing, especially in the first half of that round. Doing really well to keep his head off the line and just, bob and weave a little bit, not take too much damage. I think maybe as Sabu started catching his rhythm a little bit better towards the second half of the round, started catching Michael here and there, but I still think Michael actually outpointed him there. So you can see lots of fancy footwork from Michael, lots of little switches and, bringing his body forward and back again. He strikes, gets out of range. Sabu was being frustrated by that in the beginning part of the round. And maybe as Michael was fatiguing a bit, you start to see her slowing down. Big catch there and a big sweep. Might have swung the judges in that round.
Not inconceivable to say that it could be one round apiece right now.
Could be. It's very close to the second round.
And man, if it is, it sets up for a cracker. Michael Bezeidenhout raising his hand to his fans over here. The Iron Tiger Army are in the house at Grandwest Casino.
Getting behind their fighters. He looks pumped. He's ready to go. Sibonelo's already in the middle of the ring. Michael gets called to the center. Here we go. Third and final round. 3 minutes.
The WMO South African Super Lightweight Championship gold is on the line. 1 round to decide it.
I hear Shaheen Price calling from the corner to set up the kicks. Michael's throwing those low kicks and Sabu's getting out the way. He's doing well though. Like Sabu's now putting the pressure on, so he can find that leg if he needs to.
I think Bezeidenhout has gone back to the first round.
Oh, a huge sweep. That's going to count in his favor hugely. The crowd gets behind that. Dumped him on his shoulder. Oh, and return favor, but Sabu went down with him there. Knee touched the ground, so technically doesn't count as a trip or a sweep.
See, this is why we have Carl Bergman in the box with me, because I would never have known that that was the ruling.
Yeah, as soon as both guys go to ground, you know, you can still end in a dominant position, so that does count in your favor, but it's not necessarily like the way we count the strikes, the points in a strike and a clean sweep.
Pulsating third round action here. 1 minute and 57 seconds remain.
Michael doing well to keep chopping that leg there. He's going inside, outside, hitting the body with his punches, hitting the head as well. Sibonelo chasing him. He realizes he needs to put that pressure on. Land the big shot here. He's still looking, still hunting that head. Catches him every now and again.
Bezeidenhout remains elusive.
As we enter the second half of this round now.
Good inside leg kick.
Big swing, uppercut and a miss from Sabu. Big kick there from him, puts Michael off his feet.
Good 1-2 to the body by Bezeidenhout. Evades the jab coming back from Ntombela.
Yeah, I'm loving the exchanges here. I think that Prajit on his arm may be distracting him a little bit. Slipping down onto the elbow guard.
I hope it doesn't.
He's doing well just to try and ignore it. Michael's doing well as well. His movement, you know, getting around the ring. But Sabu with some big kicks. Michael eating some shots there. You can see a couple of welts building up on his face and on his body. But still completely keyed in.
Really don't want the tassels whipping the eye of the opponent. That's going to be a horrible one to take, obviously.
We haven't actually seen a lot of elbows, not even a lot of knees in this fight. It's mostly been big punches, lots of kicks, and a few great sweeps in this fight. And in this round, Michael with that opening big one. We're not too sure what the judges would have seen if they had seen, you know, Sabu's knee going to ground there. So they might have it one apiece on the sweeps. The strikes are pretty clean and even at the moment.
20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, 20 seconds to put your stamp on this round, put your stamp on this fight. Nice deep to the leg there. Michael's still looking pretty good, bouncing around. Last 10 seconds, here we go. You see a wild flurry, boys. Wow, super interesting, great fight. The crowd, the people standing up on their feet behind me. Great fight from the guys. Super close one to call. We'll see what the judges thought about that. Both fighters put in some good work. I think Sabu was chasing a bit more. Michael did well to evade a lot of the strikes. But again, you know, sometimes the judge might consider that forward pressure, landing your strikes and missing, you know, we're going to see what they were looking at now. As we take a look at the replay here, this was at the start of the third round, a massive catching that kick and a big sweep, steps through, grabs the leg, dumps him on his shoulder. Good work there from Michael Bezeidenhout, getting underneath his opponent's body weight there. Big, looking for the elbow. Sabu returns, boom, goes to ground. His knee touches there, but I mean, you know, he ends up in a dominant position. The referees might see that. Sorry, not the referees, the judges. There we go, dumps him on his back. I think if he had maybe just released him mid-air there, he would have like got that sweep clean. All right, the guys, you can see on their body language, I don't think either of them knows that they have this in the bag. We go to Devon for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's start by giving both these fighters a massive round of applause. As I mentioned at the top, this is a rematch. Is it revenge or is it repeat? Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards. Your winner coming by way of a unanimous decision victory, and the new WMO South African Super Lightweight Champion, fighting out of Cape Town, Michael
Well done to Michael Bezeidenhout. In his elation, almost jumped over the ropes to Shaheen's arm. He's worked hard. Every TFP, this guy's been there, been putting in the work in the background. Started off his career with 2 losses. Comes back to show that he's got the grit, got the mettle to do what he needs to do to get that win. Well done to Michael Bezeidenhout. Cracker of a fight. We've got those 2 Pro MSA titles at the way now. We're about to turn on to the Pro divisions. These guys did a great job here now. See, I think those catches and you know, keeping Sabu on the back foot by not letting him know what's coming next worked really well for Michael. He hit the body, he was hitting the legs, he was going up top for the punches to the face. Great job on Michael, and the footwork as well, in and out, landing his strikes, making sure that he's switching his stances as he goes. Just keeps his opponent guessing. Sabu definitely, like, he knew that he had to get in there and try and close the distance because Michael was working back off the back foot. But I think he could have also maybe held his ground, let Michael come to him and throw those counter strikes. But I mean, still a great effort from him. Close fight. Also had some good moments for him, some big sweeps, big catches, lots of good punches, kicks. Good work from both guys. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see them again on another TFP card sometime soon. If you're watching this fight on YouTube live with us, don't forget to give our channel a like, click on the subscribe button, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Thaiholics Fight Promotions. Stay up to date with the latest cards, what's happening. We put our promo videos up there. Get interactive. Big sweep. Great work, seeing some great Muay Thai skills on display. Here we're getting a backstage glimpse. Rafal Wozniak.